Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to the channel. Your favorite fishing expert is here, ready to dive deep into the waters and skies to bring you the most accurate fishing forecast. Today, we're talking about a very special day, Saturday, February 7th, 2026, in beautiful New Zealand. Why special, you ask? Well, it's shaping up to be a classic Kiwi summer day with some interesting twists, promising both challenges and fantastic opportunities. Stay with me because I'm going to share some little tricks that will turn a potentially capricious bite into a memorable catch. Let's get straight to the species that will be on our radar for this late summer day. Based on the current conditions, we'll be focusing on a couple of freshwater favorites and some coastal fighters. First up, for you freshwater enthusiasts, the rainbow and brown trout. This is still peak summer season, so activity levels are generally high. Where to look for them? With water temperatures comfortably warm, around 21 degrees Celsius, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, in many areas, trout might retreat to deeper, cooler sections during the brightest parts of the day. Look for them in shaded river bends, under overhanging foliage, or at the drop-offs in larger lakes. Early morning and late afternoon will be your golden hours as the sun begins to descend, bringing them closer to the surface to feed. What to use? In my experience, a light spinning rod with small, brightly colored lures can be very effective in deeper waters. But here's a little trick. If you're a fly angler, the late afternoon could offer some incredible dry fly action. Large terrestrial insects like cicadas are a prime target for big trout this time of year as they fall onto the water. So a cicada imitation or a large bushy dry fly could be a game changer. Moving to our coastal waters, which are beautifully warm, averaging around 21 degrees Celsius, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, in the North Island. Well target the ever-reliable kahawai and the elusive snapper. Kahawai, where to find them? These energetic fighters are always a blast. They're plentiful and aggressive year-round, with those southwesterly winds becoming strong in the morning, around 13 miles per hour with gusts up to 18 miles per hour. Look for kahawai in estuaries, river mouths, and sheltered bays where baitfish might be schooling, seeking refuge from the chop. Also keep an eye out for working birds. Terns often indicate baitfish close to the surface, and where there's bait, there are kahawai. Kahawai, what to use? Small spinners or grubtail softbaits are fantastic, offering maximum action and casting distance into those feeding schools. If you're on a boat or fishing from the land, a burly trail can work wonders to draw them in, then use small, unweighted, cubed baits. Snapper. Where to find them? Snapper are a bit more cunning, preferring warmer summer months, but often found in deeper, more remote waters during peak daylight. With the morning's stronger winds and patchy rain possible around noon, consider fishing deeper reefs or channels. The change of light in the early morning and evening will be the most productive times for these beauties. Snapper. What to use? Jigs and soft baits are excellent choices for snapper. If you prefer bait, fresh pilchards or squid on a ledger rig, fished close to the bottom, can be deadly. Now for the nitty-gritty, the theoretical basis for our forecast. The weather. For February 7th, 2026, New Zealand is expecting generally warm conditions. Air temperatures will range from 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius, in the morning, rising to 71 or 73 degrees Fahrenheit, 22 to 23 degrees Celsius, by noon and evening, then dropping to 66 degrees Fahrenheit, 19 degrees Celsius at night. We'll see partly cloudy skies transitioning to sunny later in the day, but watch out for potentially strong southwesterly winds in the morning, reaching gusts of up to 18 miles per hour. There's a slight chance of patchy rain around midday, but overall it looks like minimal precipitation. These winds, especially if they create chop, might push baitfish and subsequently predators into more sheltered areas. Water temperature. As we discussed, February is one of the warmest months for New Zealand's waters. Coastal North Island areas will be around 21 degrees Celsius, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, making it very comfortable for species like snapper and kahawai to be active. Even in the South Island, while cooler, temperatures are still favourable for summer species. This warm water generally means higher fish metabolism and feeding activity, although very bright. Hot conditions can make some species, like trout, a bit sluggish during the middle of the day. Moon phase. On February 7th, 2026, the moon will be in a waning gibbous phase with approximately 63% illumination. This phase is just a few days after the full moon and is heading towards the last quarter. Popular fishing lore often suggests that fishing can be slower during a waning moon, especially as it approaches the quarter phase. However, in my experience, strong weather patterns and local feeding opportunities often outweigh lunar influence, so don't let it discourage you too much, but be mindful that the bite might be a bit more subtle. Overall, fish activity. Considering all these factors, the general fish activity for February 7th, 2026 will be good to capricious. The warm water and summer season are big positives, meaning fish are actively feeding. However, the morning's stronger southwesterly winds and the waning gibbous moon might make the bite a bit more challenging and localized. Expect the best periods of activity to be during the low light hours of early morning and late afternoon/evening, particularly for trout and snapper. Kahawai should be more consistently active throughout the day, especially if you can find their feeding grounds. So, my friends, that's the lowdown for February 7th, 2026. Don't let a bit of wind or a waning moon deter you. Adapt your tactics, focus on those prime times and locations, and you'll surely be rewarded. Wishing you all tight lines and screaming reels. Before you go, hit that like button if you found this forecast helpful, and subscribe for more expert tips and weekly forecasts. And I want to hear from you. What are your go-to tactics when the wind picks up or during a waning moon phase? Share your secrets in the comments below. Until next time, tight lines and good times.